I know a lot of people will talk about Nafisa not playing, but I think they're really good without her. You know, they're just a really great basketball team. So I think it was a big win for us because they set the bar high standard wise. We know what to expect when it comes to Minnesota Lynx, and so I think going into the playoffs, it was big for us because being able to know guarding Courtney Williams, knowing that her thing is a pull-up, knowing that now instead of not knowing that, it's big for us because we give ourselves a chance. And if they are the standard, we get to see where we are.
The Fever didn't blink. Down 5 rotation pieces, they walked into a test and punched first. A 10-0 burst to open, and suddenly the Lynx were calling timeout. That's not fluke energy. That's a team deciding the tone before the other side settles. Indiana didn't check the weather, they became the weather. No Caitlin Clark, no Sophie, no Sydney, no Chloe, no Ari. That's an entire plan ripped up mid-season. Most teams fold there, the Fever found rhythm. 3 straight wins later, the vibe shifted from survive to, oh, this is real.
Fever done with the MVP, okay? Bow, bow, bow! Hell yeah. You already know what it is. Dubs in the chat, you already know what it is. You already know what it is. Let's go to the playoffs with some momentum, baby.
The question wasn't, can they hold on anymore? It became, how high is the ceiling, actually? Stephanie White has been preaching the same mantra all year. Play the standard, not the score. Be where your feet are and stack the next good possession. Simple, right? Simple doesn't mean easy. It means no excuses. That 10-0 start against Minnesota was a message. Every cut was sharp, every close out loud.
Yeah, one of the things that I've been impressed with these guys since even the offseason, really, the ones that I was able to work out with in the offseason, is how hard they work. There's a work ethic and there's a work style. And to approach everything in the same way, to be so energetic, enthusiastic, and dedicated every day. And I felt that way in training camp too. There weren't any days where I had to bring that out of them. So I think it's the nature of the women that we brought into this organization to continue to just bust their butts and play hard.
Indiana imposed itself before the game had a chance to settle. The ball moved beautifully. Drive, kick, swing, punish the extra help. You could almost hear the Lynx defense sigh. Ariel Powers stepped in and let it fly. 1, 3, then another. Back-to-back nets, and the building felt it. Odyssey Sims looked like a spark plug that had been waiting all year. Change of pace, mid-range touch, and poise when the clock squeezed.
It's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up. And, these are things that you have to go through. I often say there's no substitute for experience, and the experience that these guys have had to have to continue to reinvent, to have to continue to find different ways to get back up and to play through some different struggles is not just paying us dividends this season, but as far as what it's doing for our culture, it's going to pay dividends for many years to come.
New season starts Sunday wasn't just a line, it was the blueprint. Lexie Hull did the quiet work that wins games. Switch, contest, dive on the floor. Two-way glue is a real thing, and she wears it well. Natasha Howard gave the front court balance. Face-up makes second efforts on the glass and the little taps that extend possessions. Boston didn't have to do everything because Howard did the rest. And then there's Aaliyah Boston. When she catches it on the block, defenses tilt like a table. Double if you want. She'll dime the cutter behind your head.
I love y'all!
Boston's rebounding is gravity. One woman boxing out 2, then tipping to herself. Second chances become habits, and habits become wins. Indiana's identity is relentless togetherness. You can feel it in the way they sprint back after making a shot. No celebrating while the other team is inbounding. Just run. first quarter ended and Minnesota had that "what just happened" face. Indiana doubled them up to start. 4 for 4 from deep, and the wires were humming. Kelsey Mitchell didn't need a runway. Pull up, footwork, gather money. She's a bucket who reads the room better than ever. This year isn't just hot stretches for Kelsey, it's a full season statement. Indiana's first ever 20-plus points per game season belongs to her. That matters. For a franchise starving for a true, consistent scorer, she's become the metronome. And this year the reads got cleaner. Traps? She splits or advances it early and relocates. Hard hedges? She waits out the big snake to the elbow. Top blocks? She back cuts. Simple solutions, high trust. You can see the maturity in late clock moments. Sometimes it's the pull-up. Sometimes it's the swing to the open corner without a blink. The locker room hears that kind of leadership. It's not just shot making, it's decision making. Players feel safer taking their shots when the star trusts them.
You know, kind of all the other things like offensive rebounding that she can do.
Knocked away. Boston comes up with a steal. Here is Mitchell veering through the paint and lays it in.
She's so quick, and especially when she gets out in the open floor, you'll see her coming down. The quick left to right crossover just gets by. I thought she was sprinting. I didn't think she was lumbering.
It was a lumber sprint.
Up for the big girl.
Mitchell like a blur. That's a...
After Minnesota, Kelsey's line wasn't the story to her. Discipline was. Box outs, live ball turnovers, who you're guarding, grown-up basketball. Those don't show on the scoreboard, she said. But they flipped the third quarter. That's a leader's brain talking out loud. Her 4 words in the room lingered. You've seen our growth. Not my growth. Our. That's why the message stuck. Look at the balance. 5 in double figures and nobody forcing hero ball. That's what trust looks like on a stat sheet. Odyssey's minutes, targeted and loud, mid-range lanes, pocket passes, tempo control. The backcourt felt steadier the second she checked in. A P's plus or minus keeps popping for a reason. Size on the wing, rebounding from the guard spot, and quick trigger confidence. You feel her the second she hits the floor.
Kelsey, how much pride do you take in the fact that you started in every game now for 2 straight years, and on top of that, you're now the points per game leader in franchise history?
Man, I don't want to sound cliche, but I'm never gonna give up. I'm never gonna, if I'm able, willingly, 2 feet, 2 legs, 2 arms to play the game, because a lot of people can't. I'm gonna play. It may not, fall my way all the time, but you never have to worry about me not being present, especially if I don't have anywhere else to be. So that's just what that is. I'm never gonna not play and compete. You're never not gonna see me sit out if I don't need to. And so it's just about staying. I've obviously having rhythm and being who I want to be, but I'm all about basketball when it comes to just finishing it out.
Lexie's foul trouble tested the rotations. So did AB's. Still, the early sub pattern worked and the rhythm stuck. White was pleased but not satisfied. The 15-4 letdown to finish left a taste. Play the standard, even when the score flatters you. That's how you get ready for the playoffs. Not by vibing your way through wins, by correcting good games like you lost them. The fans chanting for KK? That's the fun side of a healthy culture. Rookies feel held and pushed at the same time. This stretch turned the depth question into an answer. It's not just bodies, it's roles. It's everyone doing their thing without leaking into someone else's lane.
Up on that, Odyssey, you've played against Kelsey a lot, but now that you're her teammate, what stands out to you about her scoring and the way she goes about working on things like that?
Bucket, instant offense, try your best to keep her in front, trap, that doesn't work, hard hedge doesn't work. You just gotta play as hard as you can just to really keep her in front of you. Seriously. A lot of people say, it's a fact, but you ask who's one of the toughest guards, who's one of the hardest guards to guard, she's definitely number 1.
I appreciate that.
Hands down.
Indiana's offense without Clark didn't evaporate. It diversified. Boston post triggers, Kelsey pace changes, AP spacing, Sims control, Howard balance. Defensively, the first punch mattered most. Minnesota was forced into tough shots early. From there, Indiana dictated the terms. It's amazing how much easier defense looks when your first shot goes in. Sprint back, chest up, hands active. That's the difference between chasing and choosing. The bench shots landed at the exact right times. A run starting to wobble? Powers answered and the crowd exhaled. Boston's grab and go was a matchup problem. She ripped and ran like a big guard. Coast to coast, soft finish, crowd up.
Here's Mitchell trying to find an angle and does. Just serving it in with the left hand. Ariel Powers made a big impact off the bench in the first half. Here's Mitchell, open three. It's good.
Sims had that veteran calm. Angles into the lane, glass touch, reset if it wasn't there. Exactly what you want next to a volume scorer. Hull's help instincts saved possessions. A dig here, a stunt there, a clean switch. Those are the things that flip a 6-0 run into a stop. Howard made the tough twos look light. Spin middle, soft roll, keep the big honest. Her efficiency is a pressure valve for Boston. Kelsey's teammates talk about her like opponents do. Bucket. Instant offense. Good luck keeping her in front. When the scouting report sounds like that, you're special.
Kelsey Mitchell is a scorer. She has always been a scorer. For her to not just do what she does well and do it in an efficient manner, but then to take on playmaking abilities for her teammates, I think has really expanded her game a little bit and really showed what she's capable of doing. And by the way, we've had to put her on sometimes the best perimeter defenders or best perimeter offensive players, especially the ones that are in ball screens a lot. So we continue to put more on Kelsey Mitchell's plate, and she just continues to rise to the challenge. So I'm incredibly proud of her. She's been through the ringer and in this organization, and she deserves to continue to elevate her game in the way that she has, and under different circumstances. So I'm proud of her. She's carried us.
She's also been an Iron Woman, start to start, night after night. Availability plus production is a killer combo. The MVP shirt in the locker room wasn't a gimmick. It was acknowledgement. The franchise is saying it out loud, but even the MVP talk gets folded into the team's identity. Play to the standard, White says, not win the press conference. This is Indiana's first winning record in a long time. It's not just a milestone, it's a mindset change. They expect their habits to travel, and they've done it with turnover at the margins. 18 different players have worn the jersey this season. That's chaos on paper, chemistry on film. The new season starts Sunday line caught on. Players repeated it like a promise. You could feel the city nodding along. Rest days matter now. Bodies get right, minds lock in. Then Thursday comes and you're back on the floor building details.
It's not stuff you see on the scoreboard, and that's what everybody cares about, what's only on the scoreboard. But I think in order for us to be who we need to be for a playoff run, like the rebounding, knowing who we're guarding, like not having like live ball turnovers was kind of like, it was pivotal in that third quarter. And so we got gut checked because it could have easily flipped the other way. But I think you see our growth.
The playbook won't open wide, no need. Just add the right wrinkles. Small tweaks win short series. The opponent will scout Kelsey's pull-up. They'll top block the pin downs, blitz the high screen. Good. Indiana's counters are ready. They'll lean on Boston as a passer. Elbow touches, split cuts, duck in reads. If you double, somebody's open. If you don't, she eats.
These last 3 games were pretty high-stakes games with playoffs on the line and whatnot. How much confidence does that give you going into the actual playoffs now?
I think it gives us a lot of confidence, knowing that we can meet the moment at times. I think that, when we get a chance to sort of reflect back, it's how do we meet the moment in every game, as opposed to the ones where your back's against the wall. But every game is a back against the wall game now.
They'll trust Sims to calm runs. They'll trust AP to swing a quarter with 2 shots. They'll trust Hull to take the toughest assignment for a stretch. And yes, they'll trust Natasha to win the dirty minutes. The possessions nobody circles on a shot chart. Those decide games in May and June.
With everything that has happened so far this season, between the injuries and bringing new people in and all of that, does that make the fact that you have you have the chance to do everything right to win that championship. Does that make that a little more satisfying?
I think so. I think I'm careful to say satisfying as opposed to pleased, right? Like pleased with what we've been able to do, pleased with how we've been able to do it. Never satisfied. And I think that's it's just a part of staying hungry to accomplish things that you've not accomplished as a group before.
Caitlin's on the sideline, locked in. It shows. Hand on a shoulder, whisper in a huddle, eyes on the next action. That presence matters. When your star stays engaged, the room follows. Energy doesn't vanish, it shifts. When Clark returns next season, she's walking into a grown team. Playoff minutes earned the hard way. Roles tested under stress. Imagine her gravity layered on top of this balance. Kelsey cooking. Boston commanding doubles, Sims and AP punching gaps. That's a scary picture. But the Fever aren't living in imagine. They're in right now. 3 straight, a statement over the league's best. And a room that believes. It's not perfection, it's progression. The fourth quarter slippage became a film session, not a headline. That's what contenders do. The coaching staff has stayed human too. Perspective without letting up. Push without breaking trust. Never satisfied doesn't mean joyless. You saw the smiles. You also saw the corrections. This is the part of the calendar where details are louder. Boxing out isn't a note, it's a non-negotiable. Live ball turnovers decide your summer plans. Every team says 1 game at a time. Indiana plays like it. It looks like attention, not a quote. Fans feel the difference. The building is louder, but also smarter. They cheer the swing pass like the dunk. The Fever have earned that. You earn it with effort that travels and habits that hold up. You earn it with a standard that doesn't check the scoreboard. So where are we really? We're past the cute stage of a shorthanded story. We're staring at a team with a real shot to bloody noses. Kelsey's MVP push is legit because the wins tell the story. Boston's control of the paint gives Indiana a playoff spine. The wings have bite, the bench has purpose, the coach has a plan. You don't have to call them favorites, you do have to call them dangerous. And most importantly, you have to call them ready. This isn't just making the playoffs. It's stepping into them with a point to prove. The Fever aren't sneaking in, they're walking in. Every game is a back-against-the-wall game now. That's how Kelsey framed it. That's how this team plays. So yeah, comment, fired up for the Fever if you feel this run coming. Because the identity is set, the roles are clear, and the standard is louder than the score. And if this is what Indiana looks like shorthanded, imagine the sequel. Like, subscribe, share with a hooper who loves the details. We'll be here all postseason, tracking every adjustment, every burst, every moment the standard shows up. Hooplist fam, let's go write the next chapter together.